Hey, thanks for joining us. This is yourlocalnote.com, and we've got another vidcast for you. And this week we're featuring Torri Melhart. She's come back. She's been kind enough to come back to talk to us about her brand new CD, which is called Not a Fairytale. So we're talking to her, and she's brought her guitarist with her, Radka, and we'll talk about the album and the songs and what they're going to be doing as far as performing and things like that. Also want to remind you, we are streaming 24/7. We've got free apps you can download. All you have to do is go to the respective stores, type in YLN, and download them for absolutely free. And you can take yourlocalnote.com with you anywhere you want. Also, don't forget, we've got a newsletter that comes out once a week. All you have to do is send us an email at contact@yourlocalnote.com, and we'll get that newsletter out to you. Also, concert calendar. Wherever you want to see your bands play, we've got that info. It's on the concert calendar right here on yourlocalnote.com. Okay, we're going to start it off with the first song from Torri Melhart's new CD. It's called Not a Fairytale is the name of the CD, and the song is called Just Have to Stay on yourlocalnote.com. The song is called Just Have to Stay from the CD, Not a Fairytale, and the singer is Torri Melhart. Torri, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, and you've got a friend with you?
Yes, Radka is my guitarist.
All right, Radka. All right, you've been playing with Torri for a while now, right?
Actually, it's only been like a year, actually.
Okay. Well, that's a while.
Yeah.
You played with her on some of her songs from the first album, right?
No, actually, there was a different guitarist, but I learned the songs and performed with her afterwards.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Torri, let's talk about the song that we just heard. It's called Just Have to Stay. What is that about?
It's about like the beginning of this year is when I wrote it, because it was a really frustrating point in my life when my parents were getting divorced.
Okay.
So it was pretty much about the frustration of that. And yeah, that's what it's about.
And how does that, do you present that to your parents and say, hey, listen, I'm writing about this? Or did you wait till after it was over and then decided to let them know what you did?
I mean, I didn't tell them, but I think when they heard it, they might have been able to figure it out.
Okay. All right. So do you write a lot of your stuff based on personal experience, or do you sometimes get an idea and sort of tell a story around it because you like the idea, or is it a little bit of both?
Pretty much all of them are personal experiences except for one of the songs.
Okay. And which song would that be?
She Could Be You.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is about, it's basically talking about that if you meet somebody, you never really know what they've been going through or what struggles they could have been going through, like, because you don't know them.
So it's not a personal experience, it's just something you observed.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Now, how many songs are on the album? Is it 12?
10.
10.
Yes.
All right, and you wrote how many of them?
All of them.
You wrote all of them?
Yes.
Very cool. Did you get any help in the songwriting process?
During the beginning of the process, the first 3 songs that were written were New Girl, Just Have to Stay, and Underneath the Sun, and that was right when I was learning guitar. So what happened was I had these melodies and words stuck in my head, and I didn't really know how to write music for it, but I had them in my head. So when I was at Voice, for a bunch of lessons in a row, my voice coach, he would help pound out chords on the keyboard and figure out what chords went with what I was singing. So it took a while, but it worked. But after that, I was able to write with guitar. Okay.
So you sit down and you write the songs out.
Yes.
Are you the type that needs to sit down as soon as you start writing a song? You have to finish it, or can you write a little bit, come back to it, and complete it over a course of a period of time?
Usually I'll finish it right away because I lose ideas if I come back to it. But sometimes if I just write verses or a chorus, I might come back, but that's kind of rare.
Okay. Now, when you put the songs together for this album, did you have more than 10 to choose from?
Yes.
How many did you have?
I'm really not sure because some of them we totally trashed like along the way and we're like, these aren't going to work. So I guess some kind of come and went. It wasn't like I have 15 now, I got to cut 5 kind of thing. It was just kind of a bunch of songs that didn't work along the way after I wrote them.
Got rid of them.
Yeah.
Now, you said we. Radka, are you in on some of the songwriting process, or does she come to you and say, hey, I got this idea, this song, what do you think? Or
she came to me with the lyrics and chords and like a basic strumming pattern, and I just added several guitar parts over them.
Okay. And did that work for all the songs or just some of the songs?
It worked for most of the songs, and Torri corrected me on a few things if she didn't like it, stuff like that.
Okay. How tough is that for you, Torri? You know, because the songwriting process, it's your creation, and it's your baby.
Yeah.
So, but you trust, obviously you trust Radka enough to get her opinion.
Yeah.
But it's still got to be tough when she starts saying, hey, I don't like this, or I want to do this.
Well, for the most part, like all of Radka's additions made the song so much better because you're welcome. Because she adds like all of the guitar riffs that you hear in the song. She basically like did all of them. And thought of them herself. So they were all like keepers. None of them. There wasn't really that much like we had to change, like. Because she's just really good at hearing stuff. And
do you talk to her when you were putting the songs together for the album? Was she helping and making decisions on what songs were going to stay and what songs weren't going to stay?
That was mostly between Kirk and I. He's my voice coach.
He's your voice coach.
Yes.
And did he help you produce the album?
He helped in the studio. He came to the studio with us and kind of helped supervise. But he wasn't the guy behind all the technical stuff. He kind of watched over that and helped make suggestions, but he didn't work all the things.
Okay. Let's take a little step back. How did you and Radka end up playing together?
Well, actually, a while ago, my friend Nicole, she takes voice too, from the same teacher, and she was thinking about doing a band thing too.
Right.
So Radka was originally found for Nicole, but then she was like, I'm not sure if I want to do this whole band thing anymore. So Kirk was like, well, why don't you just meet Radka, see if you think she would be good for you, because Radka is a rock background and I have a country background.
Right.
But it all worked out, and I think we work very well together, and so I'm glad that happened.
I'm very glad that happened too.
Well, is it much of an adjustment since you lean more towards rock and Torri is more towards country?
It was a pretty big adjustment, honestly.
Okay. But you feel more comfortable now?
Yeah, definitely.
So you understand where Tori's coming from and what she wants to do with her music?
I do.
Now, do you do any writing on your own for your own music?
I write stuff sometimes. Normally, I have a looper pedal for my guitar, and I just do several guitar loops instrumental, and I just improvise over it.
Okay, but is songwriting something you really enjoy, or is it just part of something you do, but you really rather just be playing?
Yeah, I just mainly like playing. Honestly.
Okay. And Torri, you really enjoy writing music.
Yeah, writing.
The process,
and playing.
obviously, is it getting easier the more you write?
Honestly, it's kind of been the same. Like, it depends on the ideas, because if you don't have a solid idea, then it's not easy.
Okay.
But if you know what you want to write about and you have something in your head, then it's easy.
Okay.
So.
All right. What we're going to do is we'll go to the song number 2, and then we'll come back and talk about that, and then let's talk about the recording of the album and how that process went compared to the first time you recorded music, okay?
All right.
The song that we're going to play now is called New Girl, and this is from the CD, Not a Fairy Tale, and Torri Melhart is our guest on yourlocalnote.com.
I'm tired of sitting around and watching this clock turn. I really want to get out and do something wild. Get some money and some new tight jeans, a head that's full of crazy dreams. Oh, I've had enough of living like a child. Oh, no, new girl in town, no, wild, set free. I'm doing anything I wanna do, nobody's stopping me, 'cause I'm running restless in this little town. It's all new to me. Everywhere I've been before, today's just a blur. Now I gotta run around and I gotta be free. No fear and no regret. Oh, you ain't seen me out there yet, but when you do, I promise you won't believe it's to me. Oh, no, new girl in town, no, wild, set free. I'm doing anything I wanna do, nobody's stopping me, 'cause I'm running restless in this little town. It's all new to me. Yeah, you're gonna see a different side of me, but you know, even if you don't, I'm only here temporarily. No time for looking back, no cause to look ahead, and I got no reason to look away. Some people talking, other people look. My life is something from a storybook. I'm just a girl who lives her life her way. Oh, no, new girl in town, no, wild, set free. I'm doing anything I wanna do, nobody's stopping me, 'cause I'm running restless in this little town. It's all new to me. Oh, no, new girl in town, no, wild, set free. I'm doing anything I wanna do, nobody's stopping me,
That's called New Girl from the CD, Not a Fairy Tale, and the singer is Torri Melhart, and we also have her friend and a guitarist, Radka, hanging out with us on yourlocalnote.com. All right, real quickly, New Girl, is that sort of self-explanatory?
Yeah, pretty much.
And is that your experience? Because you moved from Texas to Pennsylvania.
True. I mean, the song's basically about, like, I'm newer to this whole music process and everything.
Okay, so it's not a school thing. It's more of your career.
Yes, it's more of a career thing. And it's actually one of the first, it might have been, I think it was the first song that we finished. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was one of the first ones.
Okay. Now, you recorded music, and that's why we had you, I guess it was last year, and you had that album. Now you're recording a second album. What was the differences between the recording sessions?
It was a huge difference.
Okay. What was so big the difference? Big difference about it?
I guess the first studio we went to, it was a home studio, and it's very amateur compared to the one that we just went to. The one we went to was like a million steps up.
Okay, you got to give a plug to the studio. Come on. What studio did you record at?
A Morning Star studio.
Okay, and is that a local studio around here?
In Norristown.
Oh, okay, very cool. And how did you pick that studio?
I think we were just kind of looking around for studios to go to, and that one seemed pretty professional. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you liked it too?
Yeah, actually, I went there to job shadow before.
Oh,
For
okay.
a job shadowing project in 8th grade, and then we decided that Glenn was very nice and everything, so we decided to give it a try to actually record there.
So you both felt comfortable with, and was Glenn the producer? Mm-hmm. Okay, you felt comfortable with what he wanted to do with your music?
Yeah, especially because like Radka had been there before, so.
Okay. All right. And did he make a lot of suggestions for the songs?
He did make a lot of suggestions, not changes, like major changes on like chords and lyrics or anything, but it was more like timing or what instruments go where, that kind of stuff, which really helped.
And you learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot there.
Is there some stuff that you're going to do maybe for the next album that you didn't do for this one because you learned as you went?
I don't know. Maybe we'll probably take even more time mixing and mastering the next one, or more time adding different instruments. Because I guess as we progress, we want it to keep sounding better and better.
Right.
So we'll do whatever we can to improve.
So there's still a lot. I mean, you're both very young and very new to the industry. So there's still a ton of stuff to learn. Mm-hmm. Now, do you, besides Radka, is there anybody else that you bring your music to and ask for help or anything like that? Or you're just going to learn as you go? I
mean, I guess I kind of learn as I go. I pretty much write everything by myself. Mm-hmm. The one person that I take it to get critiques on, whether it's lyrics or chords or stuff, is my voice coach.
Okay, so he's been pretty influential.
Yes.
Got to give him a shout out.
Yeah, Kirk.
Okay. So how long have you been working with him?
It's been a while. Maybe like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, 2.
Okay. All right, very good. And is he happy with your music and your progress?
Yeah, I think he is.
Okay. Radka, do you do any singing?
Actually, I sing, like, I'm starting to learn the backing vocals for the songs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You're more comfortable just sort of being part of the band and adding
like
your
the
parts.
Not much lead now.
Okay. All right.
Besides guitar.
What was the one thing that, or if there are a couple things, that as you were recording, especially since you made the big jump from a home studio to a professional studio, what were maybe some of the things that you learned that you didn't know before you walked into the recording studio?
I guess we learned what mixing and mastering actually is, and that it sounds like this little like icing on the cake type thing, but really that's like a lot of it. That is a good, huge chunk of what has to happen. And
so that could make the difference between an okay sounding song and a great sounding song.
Yes, and we learned that after hearing it. Before and after it was mastered, it was like 2 completely different songs. And at the home studio, we really didn't even mix or master barely at all. And to go from that to the big studio, I think that's what made them so much better. And also because this time it was full band and everything. Last time it was just acoustic.
Did you play, when you were recording the songs, did you play it in tracks or did you record as a full band?
We played in tracks.
Okay, so you would do your vocals, you'd lay down your guitar licks and things like that at different times. You never really played together?
Well, technically, we played like with three. We played drums, the main acoustic guitar, and lead vocals.
Okay, that was like one track.
It was, we played it at the same time, but
Okay.
it was recorded in different like rooms.
Oh, really?
So it was like different tracks. Like it was glass, so we could see each other and everything.
So you were not even in the same room,
There was soundproof.
Yeah.
but you're playing at the same time.
Yeah, and we had a metronome in our
Yeah.
Okay.
earphones.
That had to be at first a tough adjustment.
Yeah.
It was interesting, yeah, because it was really funny. We had the earphones and the microphone, and whenever Glenn had it so that we could talk to each other like through the
Right.
things.
Right.
But then if he had to turn it off to fix something, we couldn't say anything, so we were trying to like
Oh, really?
communicate through like
Little hand
signals and
signals,
stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I've never. I know they would lay the tracks down separately, but I never really imagined you're playing at the same time, but in different rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got to be an interesting thing. So now back to the songwriting. Have you been? Are you putting more songs together for a new album? I know this is new, but I mean, it seems like you constantly write.
Yeah, I mean, if something pops into my head, I'm definitely going to write it down. It's just right now, I'm not in a time crunch to write anything.
Right.
So I'll write. I'm always writing. If I have a good idea, I'll write it down. But I haven't been writing as much right now because I'm just so busy
Okay.
with playing and rehearsing.
Have you
so.
been playing live?
We've been doing coffee houses and things for a while, and we actually just played our first paid gig on Saturday.
Nice,
so
congratulations.
That was
It
exciting.
was in Flemington, New Jersey.
Okay, very cool. That's a great experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did any songs stick out that people responded to that you weren't really expecting, or?
Well, I mean, the one that stuck out was Best of the Best, but that's because a lot of my friends were there. So, and that song's about my best friends.
Okay.
So they were all kind of just dancing around, being silly, but that was expected.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to song number 3, but we've got a special treat. You two are going to play this live in the studio during this podcast. Okay. All right. So we'll let you guys get set up, and then we'll play it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You're Try your best, but if you fail, you gotta keep moving on. Life is not a fairy tale, you can't always get what you want. Try your best, but if you fail, you gotta keep moving on. And on and on and on.
Ladies, very nice job on that. The song is called Not a Fairy Tale from the album called Not a Fairy Tale. We're hanging with Torri Melhart with her guitarist Radka. This is yourlocalnote.com. All right, Torri, let's talk about this song, Not a Fairy Tale. What is it about, and why did you pick it for the title of your album?
Well, it's the title of the album because, well, we were going through the names of the songs and we thought, this kind of ties it all together. Let's just use this one because I guess the whole entire album is about like a bunch of ups and downs type things and like happy and sad, but Not a Fairy Tale kind of sets the mood, I guess. And it's Not a Fairy Tale is about how life isn't perfect, but you're gonna get through it, and you will, especially if you want it to. That'll move it along faster.
Just got to keep persevering, right?
Yeah, you got to keep moving on.
Very good. And on this song, so you just felt that this should be the song that is the title of your album.
Yes.
Radka, did you have any input on this?
Honestly, I just thought like it was a great song for the first song.
Okay, very cool. So yeah, it's the first song on the CD too. Mm-hmm. Okay, you started off that way. All right, very cool. Let's talk about where people can find your music.
They can find it on iTunes, and I believe you can find it on Amazon and on what's it called? SoundCloud and
Bandcamp.
The other one.
Yeah.
What's the one that it's the
just Google Torri Melhart,
the website, right? The one that you can join through I forget Spotify. That's what I couldn't think of. That's another big one, but
it's really a challenge to make sure you get your music everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you get help with that?
Yes.
Okay.
My voice coach has been very generous on getting it out there and submitting to places and everything. So.
Okay, and your website is torrimelhart.com, and that's TORRI.
Yes.
Because when you text it, it will correct you. I mean,
yes.
When you try to text it on the phone. I had that when I was
2 R's.
I was texting your mom last night. I had 3 times I had to go back and say, no, phone. It's 2 R's, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as, you have a country feel to it, do you have the dreams, the aspirations of going down to Nashville?
Yeah, I think that would be really awesome if we could do that one day. I mean, it would be kind of difficult to do that right now unless it was like in the summer.
Right, because of school and stuff like that. And that's not such a bad thing. I have experience in the country music radio, and I ran some stations and stuff like that. And I got to be honest, the record companies are not big fans of teenage artists.
Yeah.
And really the person who really caused that problem was, and I'm trying to remember her name now. She was a country star. She had big hits, and then she tried to go pop.
Taylor Swift?
No. Taylor Swift. They love Taylor Swift. It was before Taylor Swift.
Leanne Rimes?
Leanne Rimes. That's it. God, I can't believe I couldn't remember that name. But because they invested so much time and effort and money into her, and then she said, you know what, now I want to be a pop star, it really hurt people like you, Torri, because now you've got people who are saying, you know what, we're going to let the teenagers grow up a little bit, and then when they have decided what they want to do, then we'll listen to them. So just, that's not a bad thing to just, get through high school and stuff like that, but continue playing your music. It's a tough field.
Yeah.
It's very competitive. Have you been to Nashville?
Yes, we did. We went this past summer.
Okay. It's a great city.
Yeah,
A lot of fun. Did you play?
Yeah, we played at the open mics that were available. Like we got to play actually at the Bluebird.
Did you really?
Yeah, it
Nice.
was pretty crazy. It was the most packed one that we played at. But I mean, I don't know about Radka, but for me, it honestly, like, even though it's the most well-known one, it was kind of like you didn't get to like connect with people that much because it's kind of like there were so many people
It's a
waiting
tourist
to play
trap,
there.
too.
Yeah, we just kind of got thrown on and kicked off, that kind of
We
thing.
weren't, we weren't even inside by the time it was
Yeah,
our
we
turn to
didn't
play.
even wait inside. We came in from outside. So.
Wow. How did you like that experience, Radka?
It was kind of frustrating though. Like we didn't even have time to like relax or anything.
Right.
Just stood outside in the heat.
Yeah, and the competition is so intense there
Oh,
because
yeah.
everybody comes. See, that's the one thing about country. You've got with rock and other genres, you can be in your hometown and develop. But if you really want to make it in country, you got to go to Nashville.
Yeah,
So I
pretty
mean, there's pluses and minuses to it, but you know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So Dreams of Nashville will be put on hold until school is done.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a smart move. Locally, you've got any shows coming up here? Or are you just going to do open mic nights and things like that, and wait till the summer and play during the summer?
We actually have some gigs booked. I think if you include the one we did last weekend, I think we have like 6 booked or something like that.
Okay.
We have one this Saturday.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
Bryn Mawr. So.
Okay, Bryn Mawr. All right, that sounds good. All right, then what we'll do is you'll send us the information. We'll put it up on the site so everyone knows exactly where it is.
Sweet.
Okay.
Awesome.
We always love to promote where you're going to be playing. All right.
Awesome.
Then also, as you're getting ready to promote this album, is it a situation where you're still getting help from people to, as far as public relations and things like that are concerned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. We actually, when I went with Radka to this thing called Rockfest, we, Dan, the guy who did our drums and bass.
Got to give a shout out to Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Hoffman.
He's awesome. His manager, we actually talked to her for a while.
Yeah, Laura Huggett.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we know Laura.
And she gave us a lot of good advice on how to promote and everything.
Yeah,
so.
we met Laura through the band Glimdropper.
Yeah, that's the
his
band.
band.
What's that?
It's Dan's band.
That is Dan's band.
Yes.
I can't put 2 and 2 together. We meet too many people, and my memory's going. It's terrible. So they're great people. So it's very cool that you hooked up with them.
Yeah.
And actually, Laura has given us a lead for another artist that we're going to have coming in later on, several weeks from now. Amber Ladd. I don't know if you know Amber.
I don't know, but I'm sure she's good.
Yeah,
if
and
she's coming on
Laura's
here.
just great to work with. So that's really cool that you're working with them.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice, very nice. All right, then. As far as more music is concerned, you're still writing some more music now, and you're putting it aside.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, and then but you have no really thoughts of going back into the studio again.
No, not anytime
this year.
soon. Yeah, especially because it was really expensive. So
Okay.
that's one of the parts where I'm sure, like, if we had the money, yeah, maybe we'd be back there sooner. But
So you got to get out there, make some money, get some more paid gigs.
yeah, pretty much.
Save it. Okay, very cool. All right, besides Dan, who else helped out with the album that you want to give?
Tom Hampton played all the crazy instruments like the dobro, steel lap, and pedal steel guitars on
Okay.
the album.
And did you have an idea when you were going in that they were going to add all these instruments to it, into the recording?
They just said he was a steel lap player. I didn't
Okay.
expect anything else.
And then they said, okay, let's add this, let's add that.
Yeah, like right when we got in there, we weren't really expecting to do much more of like different like vocals, like harmonies, different guitar parts, and bass and drums. Like
Yeah.
adding the other instruments was like the last or second to last session of recording. It was pretty last minute. Like Glenn called up the guy like last minute and had him come and play.
Okay. And when you do decide to go into the studio, are you going to go back with Glenn and work with him? Would that be something you'd like to do?
I would like to do that, honestly. Like, he was really good at what he did, and he knew what he was doing, and a lot of the suggestions he made were very helpful.
Very helpful. You learned a lot doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right, well, we're going to get ready to wrap things up. Ladies, it was a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, the last song we're going to play is Looking Back. So, Torri, let's talk about Looking Back.
Well, looking back, it's pretty much, I didn't even realize when I wrote it that it's 2 or 3 different stories, like the 3 different verses. They're all summertime stories. The first one is about going to the beach, which is the Outer Banks, with my dad's side of the family, and how everybody's crazy down there and it's so much fun. And the second verse is about going down to Texas with my mom's side of the family and with my cousins and all my family down there. And the third verse was about hanging out with my friends here.
Okay.
And then the chorus talks about, like, how pretty much summertime and the summertime things you do and how it's fun, and you look back to it and you kind of wish you were still there.
It's about memories.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. All right. Radka, Torri, very nice hanging out with you tonight. Really appreciate it. We're going to remind everyone that coming up next week, we have a brand new vidcast. We have one every single week. Again, want to remind you that we have a newsletter. Send us an email at contact@yourlocalnote.com. You want to see where your favorite band is playing, just go to our concert calendar. And, of course, we do a weekly update, Mike and I. It's called the YLN Update, so you can check that out on the site. We have so much stuff happening on our site. News, information, music. It's all there on yourlocalnote.com. Wrapping things up with Torri Melhart from her new CD called Not a Fairytale. This song is called Looking Back on yourlocalnote.com.
Secure